Welcome back to the 1% Mind. Today, we are tackling the most dangerous enemy of all, the self. Imagine you have reached the peak. Every mathematical metric confirms your success. The automated wealth architecture you built functions flawlessly, quietly compounding capital while you sleep. Your biological engine is optimized. With an elite VO2 max and a sharp mind, you have successfully navigated the law of proximity, amputating toxic relationships to stand supported by sovereign titans. You are looking down at a world you have conquered, a sovereign titan standing at the absolute peak of the mountain. But as you stand there, a terrifying, irrational sensation crawls up your spine. It is a deep, invisible pressure. A whisper rises in the back of your mind. This is too good. This cannot possibly last. Something catastrophic is about to happen. You step back inside. Your spouse asks a mundane question about dinner. Instead of answering, you feel a surge of venom in your chest and initiate a vicious, unprovoked argument that spirals out of control. Or perhaps you open your laptop to view your pristine, diversified investment portfolio. For no logical reason, you are gripped by a chaotic urge to liquidate your safe assets. You execute that urge, dumping 10% of your fortress into a highly leveraged, dangerous microcap asset. The next morning, you wake up to the red glare of financial losses and the silence of a damaged relationship. You are left with absolute, crushing bewilderment. Why would an elite operator, a logical genius, actively and deliberately set their own empire on fire? You possess a hidden, subconscious biological program designed to violently throw you off the cliff the exact second you arrive at the summit. To understand this self-destruction, we must look at Dr. Gay Hendricks' psychological framework, the upper limit problem. This concept details our internal baseline for how much sustained happiness and success we can tolerate. Your brain's primary directive is to maintain homeostasis and predictability. It prioritizes the familiar over the joyful. This is your internal identity thermostat, a subconscious mechanism that actively works to keep you at a familiar temperature of struggle. If you grew up where peace was followed by chaos, your brain structurally fused quiet with imminent danger. Alternatively, middle-class environments often fuse the idea of massive wealth with moral decay and isolation, setting the thermostat to reject high levels of success. When you reach the peak, you crash through your upper limit into an emotional atmosphere your brain has never experienced. The air is too thin. The peace is too quiet. Your amygdala views this unprecedented peace as a life-threatening biological emergency. To resolve this discomfort, your brain executes an assassination protocol. It pulls the fire alarm, forcing you to manufacture a crisis to return to the familiar baseline of stress. These domestic arguments and financial blunders are calibrated biological corrections designed to return your system to a comfortable level of misery. The upper limit is the trigger, but to see how the sabotage is executed, we must look into the darkest depths of the psyche. Carl Jung observed that to function in civilization, humans repress their primal, aggressive, and socially unacceptable urges. As an elite operator, your discipline is extreme. You wake at 4 a.m., eat perfectly measured fuel, and execute risk with emotionless logic. Repressed energy does not disappear. It multiplies in the subconscious. Every act of discipline pushes chaos into this basement. This is the shadow, the mirrored reflection of your discipline, the primitive animal that wants to destroy and unleash total chaos. When you finally reach the penthouse and relax, your prefrontal cortex powers down. Your cognitive guardrails fall. The shadow, massive and furious from years of confinement, violently breaks out of the basement to destroy the life that caged it. It hijacks your body to send the career-ending email or initiate the catastrophic trade. It burns down the empire because it craves the heat of the flames. The rigid sovereignty required to build the empire is the exact pressure cooker that creates the force capable of destroying it. Attempting to defeat the shadow with positive thinking only makes it darker. You cannot ignore your way out of biological reality. The 1% integrate their darkness using the Apex Stabilization Protocol, a 3-tier framework designed to shatter your upper limit and integrate your shadow. Protocol 1 is the 10-second override. You must learn to intercept the biological panic before it leads to destructive behavior. When the urge to destroy hits, you must stop moving, close your eyes, and verbally name the biological glitch. You state, "I am not actually angry. I have breached my upper limit, and my amygdala is panicking because I am experiencing unprecedented peace." Actively naming the mechanism pulls the process into the analytical prefrontal cortex, stripping the urge of its emotional power. Protocol 2 is the controlled burn. If you do not give the chaos a contained arena, the shadow will eventually execute a hostile takeover. Like a controlled burn in forestry, you must intentionally start small fires to clear the dead brush before it creates a massive, uncontrollable wildfire. This is why the elite engage in high-friction, chaotic environments like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or desert ultramarathons. By taking the leash off the shadow in a safe, violent arena, the primal energy is exhausted. You can then return to your architecture with cold, flawless precision. By providing the shadow a designated playground, you prevent it from turning your empire into its battlefield. Protocol 3 is the acclimation of the void. You must teach your brain to survive the silence of the plateau. Those addicted to the drama of the climb will invent new, stressful problems just to avoid the discomfort of peace. Mastering the plateau means resisting the urge to tinker with optimized portfolios or launch new products just to feel a rush. Your goal is to train your nervous system to recognize that boring, uneventful peace is the ultimate objective. Building the empire is a battle of external physics. Keeping it is a brutal war of internal psychology. Subscribe to the 1% Mind, like this video, and share it with a successful friend who struggles to stay at the finish line. Our next masterclass details the final protocol, the physics of infinite expansion, examining the power of generational compounding. Stop kicking over the sandcastle. Build your fortress in the sky. I will see you next